Happy Hot Take Tuesday. Got your hot takes coming up a little bit. Remember, hot takes are hot takes on anything but politics. We do enough politics, right? We fight enough. Belle and I fight enough. By the way, my wife just texted, do you like pie, Belle? Do you like cake? What do you like for dessert?
Pie.
Pie. All right. What kind?
Or cheesecake.
Okay, or cheesecake. Or cheesecake. Belle's coming over for the old Thanksgiving. The old Thanksgiving. Pretty excited about Thanksgiving because we don't have to work. You know what's funny? I say that, and then something crazy is going to happen. Right? Something nuts.
Watch your mouth.
Something nuts is going to happen. I'm like, can you guys jump on and do? Or it's going to be one of those days where the storms are out of control. And they're like, can you guys pop down there? And, because we have storms coming today. So that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Mason was telling me he's got to work till midnight in the rain.
Oh, no. Oh, because he does some other stuff. Yeah, they make Mason stand outside. That's pretty weird that we do that. But you know what? That's how you got to learn, right? That's how you learn. Like if you ever watch The Karate Kid learns how. He waxed on and he waxed off. It wasn't free. Karate lessons weren't free. You were putting in the work.
Yeah, when Mr. Miyagi does it, it gets a little rough.
Yeah, it was pretty. I sent you guys that thing last night. It was pretty funny. I sent the guys this Karate Kid AI where Mr. Miyagi was having to wax like his 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass. And he was so pissed off because Danielson wasn't there. He starts effing this and effing that.
Takes a crowbar to the car.
No, Mr. Miyagi, no. What's up, Ken? See, Ken's back in the room.
What's going on, boy?
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How bad's this rain tonight? Are we going to have to stick around for something?
Nah.
Okay, good.
Real low on the risk scale.
Okay, good.
And like right now, it's the level 1 out of 5 is basically along 40 and north.
Okay.
And very low chance for anything. But it's one of those deals where, we're here in the South, so you can't completely rule it out. But just very, very low risk for quarter-size hail, very low chance for a tornado. The timing is going to be 5 o'clock to midnight.
Okay.
Just something we'll keep an eye on.
All right. Just paying attention. We do that for you guys. We do that. I was telling him, what's going to happen next week because I was looking forward to, some days off. And I said, what's going to happen on Thursday next week? It's going to be tornadoes. They're going to be like, you guys got to get in. Can every guy hop on? Oh, jeez. So, God, I'm just...
So you're going to be able to spend Thanksgiving with your family then?
So, yeah, I've got my wife, right? My good buddy Bell's coming over.
All right, Brother Bellel.
So Mr. Bell's going to be hanging out. My wife just asked if he wanted a pie or whatever. And I said, yeah, pie or cheesecake is the way to go for Bell.
Yes.
Now, remember, just because I said that's what I like doesn't mean I'm going to eat some of it.
Oh, my God. So there you go. That's the way that's going to be. That's the way that's going to be at night. I said I liked it, but I didn't say I wanted it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
That's like a politician.
Yeah, that's it. That's the perfect You just did the what's the French the Clouseau? Does your dog bite? No, that's not my dog. I was not hungry for pie. Oh, my Lord. Dude, what happened in Chicago? Somebody threw acid on somebody? I heard the end of that.
No, man. Police, they're looking for a man who apparently poured lighter fluid on a 26-year-old woman on a commuter train and lit it. And she's in the hospital in critical condition.
What the hell?
And they are still looking for this guy.
What the hell is wrong with people?
I don't know, man.
I mean, honest to God, who are you people that you would think that? Like that guy that lit that lady on fire in the New York subway.
Yeah, it's very similar.
And everybody just stood around just kind of looking. Like nobody thought, you know what, maybe I should go over and help. No, I don't get it. I don't. It is a bizarre, we live in a bizarre time where everybody keeps themselves. And I was telling, my wife at the time watching, I said, I can guarantee you there are people on that train who never looked up from their phone, never knew anything was going on, got off, paid no attention.
Probably.
Every day I walk home, there are 20 people that walk by me. Half of them never look up, And I don't know how many times I've seen them almost walk out in traffic. It's crazy. And some people, of course, they just won't say hi to you for whatever reason. Anybody under 30, terrified to make eye contact. Yeah. Like you're going to throw down with them.
Oh, that or you're going to throw lighter fluid on them and set them on fire.
Are you mad dogging me, bro?
Mad dogging.
You mad dogging? You want some of this? You want some of this? Are all the internet things working? Because, man, earlier this morning I got up and like nothing's working.
I haven't seen an update. All I'm seeing are stories about how there have been issues.
Yeah.
But apparently, this cloud flare.
Yeah.
Apparently runs a lot of stuff. Nobody even knew about Cloudflare until today.
X, ChatGPT, so many. In fact, I tried to go on this morning and do one of our sweet training videos, and it gave you the thanks to Cloudflare, we're not working right now thing.
Right.
Because I was going to go learn about, whatever I was supposed to learn about that was going to make me a better person. Whatever this crazy I want to do some of those crazy training videos. But they're just hilarious. You get up and you're like, really? Is that what you think's going to happen? What did Tom say? Tom said this. You're like, nobody says that. And you guys are all laughing. You're like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was crazy because there was because I'm up so damn early, as you guys know, there was like half the stuff wasn't working at all. YouTube was sideways too. And they said that they don't know if it's kind of like warfare, if these were hackers, but they said right before everything went sideways, there was a huge push of activity, and then everything went zzz. But it's scary because what happens? When you don't, just remember, was it Amazon a couple weeks ago? Same thing?
Yeah.
When stuff goes out and you don't have a quadruple, triple backup, you run into issues. And we are not a nation, no offense. We don't have a lot of patience. We don't. We don't have a ton of patience. And
I can't have my routine disrupted.
That's it. So could you imagine what it would be like? I was sitting there today thinking, okay, let's say the internet went away for even 10 days. Why I think it would be refreshing. Those first 3 to 5 days, oh my Lord.
Well, not just from a personal standpoint, though, but imagine how that would affect business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, within a couple of days, you're screwed.
You'd have to go back to that thing where you go with the credit card.
Yeah, the slide.
Yeah. They've dismantled all that, though. They don't even have that in the back room anymore.
You'd have to get out the book to see if the thing's stolen. I used to have that at my grandma's store. I'd have to look at the numbers and go, is this thing stolen? It was like a giant phone book because that was modern. And then there was, and it's like 3 different copies. And then you have to, can I watch you tear it up? You're like, no. But yeah, we would struggle. There's no doubt we would struggle.
Man. I mean, not very many people carry cash on them anymore.
No. Dude, speaking of that, you guys want to hear something crazy? So my mother-in-law, so we had stuff come out to the house, and she's like, hey, do you guys want to go deposit this thing? And we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so she went, and she goes, I'll just take it to my bank cash, and I'll take it over to yours and put cash in the bank. She went over there. My bank goes, we don't take cash. Excuse me? Yeah, we no longer accept cash. I'm sorry, are you a bank? Yeah, we're a bank that doesn't take cash. What? It wasn't like some insane amount. What world do we live in that they don't take cash?
That's like a church that doesn't believe in Jesus.
Yeah. So it was so bizarre. But we are so now dependent on everything of being electronic. By the way, everybody said the same thing. Those card machines were called the knuckle busters. Those things were. Oh, goodness me. What will we do? Because first of all, how could you cash? Here's the other problem. Like, even if you have a television, like my TV is all internet. So my TV would be out. Right? So if you go to the bank, that's all done by the internet. Like, we would be in a serious issue. We'd have serious problems. That's why when we talk about the electronic side of stuff, when you think about our grid is so, it is completely outdated. And the trouble that would happen if they hit our grid, anybody hit our grid, would be tremendous. It would be. It's sad. Sad, kids, sad. A lot of stuff to get to today, obviously. Now, Ken, do we know what time they're going to vote at all?
I have not seen that.
So if you guys haven't heard the Epstein stuff, Trump's meeting right now with the Saudi Prince MPS. They're buying F-35s, which is there's some nerves in the Pentagon over that because the worry is that the Saudis might show the Chinese some of this stuff. I don't think we're going to give them 100% because that's what we do when we go give a lot of these weapons. You know, even no matter what it is, even to Israel, even though they don't like this, we will give them, we'll keep F-35A. We're going to give you A1, which is not the same. But there is worries about that. But he's here to buy some of that stuff. And, man, he must be, he continues to say, I didn't know anything about Khashoggi's murder. Yeah, you did. Let's not pretend. You knew about Khashoggi's murder. There's no way you didn't know about that guy's murder. There's no way you didn't know. But this is the world of politics. Strange bedfellows.
When your punishment for adultery is chopping the woman's head off,
Yeah.
I don't think it's too far of a stretch to kill and dismember a journalist.
No. So I don't think so either. But especially for a guy, for you guys don't remember Khashoggi. Khashoggi was, not arguably, he was the biggest, most influential journalist throughout the Middle East and parts of Africa. There wasn't anybody close to the influence that this guy had. And yes, he was very much a critic of the royal family. And what they did to him was the thing of nightmares. Like that was not even, that's the kind of thing where you don't even, it was, let's embalm him while he's alive. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they did was just horrible. It's the kind of stuff that you'd see on the mob movies. Like the worst type of mob movies. And there's a lot of mob movies out there. So, but you know what? It's this weird world, man. It's I don't know what people expect. We're not going to not be friends with them. We need them in the Middle East. We have bases there. Even after 9/11, I mean, we're still have this friendship. And he's trying to sports wash and entertainment wash his country back to, I think he'd like to be a little bit more like Dubai in some ways where, it's like, hey, you guys are okay if you're, if you hold hands over here and if you, we're not going to throw you guys off roofs. We may do it to our own people, but we're not going to do it to you guys. So it's very interesting, this. And we'll talk a little bit about that. A bunch of other stuff to get to today. Is MAGA... I'm going to ask you guys this question a little bit later, too, about MAGA. Because there's no doubt that there's a fight going on in the MAGA world. And it is, I think, going to get ugly. And yes, some of it has to do with Epstein, and some of it has to do with a lot of other stuff. We're going to talk about that today as well. Taxes, crushing small business owners here. We joke about it all the time, but if these taxes don't get any better here, if Freddie doesn't come up with something, I got news for you. It is going to be like, hey, look, I went all the way to Nashville so I could get an Applebee's T-shirt.
The taxes are what Freddie came up with.
That's right. Hey, but the good news is we all have a bus we don't take. Huh? So there's that. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Straight ahead. Remember, Hot Take Tuesday. What's that mean? It's a hot take. Has nothing to do with politics. Okay? Fun. Could be controversial about sports, music, whatever it is, but no politics. We do enough politics. Chad Benz Show, Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks, baby. Let me tell you something about Prize Picks. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today. Use my code Chad. I'll tell you why in a minute. So Prize Picks, you are choosing a lineup. Lineup consists of two or more. What does that mean? Well, you're picking two or more based, they're not teams, players, based on their projected stats. You're picking more or less based against what, is out there. So it could be Steph Curry. Do you think he's going to hit, more than 4.5 threes in the next game? Or the likes of Wembanyama? Do you think he's going to have more than 4 blocks? Or maybe football, Josh Allen, will he throw for more than 250 yards or, toss more than 1.5 touchdowns? It's more, it's less. It's that simple. Now, when you download the app today, use my code Chad, you get $50 instantly in your account for more lineups. So $50 in lineups straight into your account, win or lose, after you play your first $5 app. It's It's never been easier to do this. And here's a great thing. You get your money in a second. That's what I love about it. They've MasterCard, Venmo, you name it. It's safe. Transaction's easy. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use my code Chad. It's PrizePicks app. You get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's simple with PrizePicks. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789.
A woman in Chicago fighting for her life after she was set on fire on a commuter train this morning. Details coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Every Tuesday, we have a lot of fun because that's basically what we do here. We're here to entertain, infotain, if you will. Give you some information and entertainment. We call this thing our little Hot Take Tuesday. This is where we give you hot takes on things in life that have nothing to do with politics. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. All right, little Hot Take Tuesday. Well, all of that's going on. We're doing a switch here, big switcherama. Oh, my Lord. We got a new incredible chair. You guys can't see it. Thanks to, who is it? Bo Diddle.
Gaming chair.
Oh, it's a gaming chair. This is so much better. I feel better already. Thank you,
Tell
Bo
Chris
Diddle.
just to throw that one in the garbage.
No, that one's the best, second best chair in the building.
It's now the guest chair.
It's now the guest chair. So now the guest doesn't have to sit on the floor. Thank you, sir. Oh, this is awesome. I feel like a king in my throne.
Does it have a warmer?
It does not, but now that I'm on it, it's warm. If you know what I mean. Hot Take Tuesday, we're going to start with young Bell.
I am tired of service companies like SiriusXM and Comcast and all these guys giving you their supposed best rate and then jacking the price up. I just got an email from Sirius that my subscription is going to go from $6.50 a month to $22.
Wait,
So-
wait, what?
Wow.
Yeah. because I got the introductory rate. But if they can afford the introductory rate for 2 years, they can afford it now. So what I'm going to do when I get off the air is I'm going to call them and go, you either keep this rate or you can take your service and stuff it.
Wow,
Yes,
that is right there. You know what that is? That's consumerism right there. That's capitalism right in everybody's face. That's the way you do it. Have you ever gone? Well, we got a new car once, and it gave you the you get it for 2 months, the free satellite. We had it for like 4 years. So that's why they have to make you pay $22. All right, Ken, what you got for us on Hot Take Tuesday?
Had an experience this morning, boys, and that is the source of my hot take today. DIY stands for destroy it yourself.
So what'd you do, dude?
Even if it looks easy. Dude, the easiest thing is to replace your brake lights.
Apparently not.
I'm moving along. I've got 2 of them installed. I just need 1 more. And it's the windshield brake light, the back windshield brake light. I reach up to simply twist the little component to come out of the set or whatever you call it. The whole damn thing shatters like a Ritz cracker.
Man doesn't know his own strength.
And just falls right into the trunk.
He was so angry he ripped the trunk hood off.
That is pretty bad. How strong are you? I can't believe how incredibly strong I am when I break stuff all the time for the light bulbs.
I mean, it's supposed to just pop out.
Yeah.
You just turn it counterclockwise and it pops out.
That's why I do not fix anything. I don't. It's not. I know I'm going to break
He
it.
makes Steph do it.
Yeah, well, first of all, she builds everything around the house. She's like, I can't believe that you don't fill your man car. And I'm like, you know what? She's she's a contractor, so I don't care. And secondly, I don't make her talk on the microphone all day. So there you go. Okay?
I'm beside myself, man.
So, and I know the other thing, I would break stuff like you, so I don't touch things. It's going to be horrible, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to think it looks nice, then something's going to be upside down, or it's going to be sideways. I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart just to get it fixed, and then I'm going to say I'm going to break it because I don't care. Are you driving dangerous? Are you driving dirty right now? Like you get pulled over?
I've got brake lights. It's just not the one in the windshield.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, man, I'm just...
Oh, man. Destroying it yourself, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only. Ken. My hot take is I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I don't like dessert. I don't like pie. I've never liked pie. I've hated it my whole life. You know what else I hate? I hate butt stuffing. That's what it is.
Can we stick to Thanksgiving?
Right? It's butt stuffing. What did you stick in there? It's the butt stuff, right? Right into it. Just stick a bunch of bread and crap in there. What do you just...
Slap some gravy on my butt stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're not going to eat any dessert, just tell Steph not to get the pie.
I like ice cream. By the way, I only eat vanilla ice cream, and I'll eat some other stuff, but vanilla is like my favorite thing. I've never, because I'm not a big sweets guy. I have if I get a candy bar, I'll eat half of it, keep the rest for some other time. I don't like sweet stuff.
That's not even humanly possible.
I've never liked pie. It's bleh.
What do you mean by keep the rest for? I don't understand.
I'll get today I had 2 small Twix that I broke in half, and they were just 2 small ones. I've got the other one at the house. I'll eat it tomorrow because it's just the right amount for me. Sweet. I've never been a sweet guy. I don't like cake.
I'm confused. I don't understand what all this means. You're supposed to eat it all at once.
No, I can't. That's why I don't like. And pie's silly, and I don't even like cake. Right? Like it's just never been a dessert guy. But it's also weird too when I look at a turkey and I'm like, I'm just gonna reach the side and grab all its guts with doughy stuff in there.
The butt stuff.
And look, sometimes stuffing can be okay, but we all know this. It's hit or miss. If you don't do it right, it's not done right. All you have is a sponge.
Apparently, Mondami isn't the only new communist in our world.
Oh, settle down there, you. Settle down. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. Southerners don't eat stuffing. We eat cornbread. I love cornbread. There you go. But again, I can only have a little bit. Just never been a sweet guy. It's never been my thing because I'm sweet enough. You know what I mean? Coming up, we got some good stuff. We'll talk a little bit about, obviously, the Epstein stuff. We can't not talk about it. The reality is it's out there. They're going to vote on it later. The questions a lot of people are asking is, okay, what are we really going to see out of this stuff? And I think it's a fair question. Plus, we got some, the MAGA. This is definitely an issue for MAGA. And MAGA's got another issue. And the issue is, and this sounds weird, it's Donald Trump. And it has nothing to do with the politics of Donald Trump. It has all to do with he's the only Donald Trump. So that's going to be an issue for them going forward. Talk about that as well. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes, and a woman is fighting for her life after getting set on fire on a commuter train in downtown Chicago this morning. Police say a man doused her with liquid, then ignited it during an argument, and then ran away. The victim remains in critical condition as detectives search for the suspect. Maryland bridge collapse update. The NTSB today determined the probable cause of last year's Francis Scott Key bridge collapse in Baltimore. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
A series of blackouts aboard the ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge last year were caused by a loose wire, according to NTSB investigators who voted on the crash's probable cause today. Investigators say the wire's label was improperly installed, causing the wire to loosen over time and ultimately disconnect from its breaker. 6 people were killed in the bridge collapse. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And we're waiting for the vote to compel the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. We are told that vote could debate and vote set to start in just about half an hour. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WDN News.
All right, guys, USS, United Structural Systems. Why do you need their number? It's simple. Don't let something small become something big. USS will help you with that. If you got some cracks, right, in your basement, right? You've got some water that's gotten down there. You're not quite sure what's happened to it. You've got issues when it comes to all kinds of little things that you think, I wonder if anything's going on down there. Basement walls. I mean, you see where I'm going with this. You take something like that and you ignore it, and what ends up happening? It becomes something way bigger. It's the stuff you can't see that you need to worry about. That's why USS wants to come out, give you an inspection, peace of mind when it comes to things like, foundation, your crawl space, the waterproofing in there, right? All of those things. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855. They'll come out, give you a free inspection. Not going to sell anything you don't need. 30 years in business. Thousands upon thousands of happy customers, tons of 5-star reviews. They're the best around. Let them come out today. Give you a free inspection before the rain starts to come, before the freeze starts to come, before it gets even uglier. 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. A lot of you chiming in. Somebody said Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles. That's their hot take. And I think that's the only thing Yoko Ono did that was good. As you guys know how I feel about the Beatles. A lot of you, by the way, talking about the dressing, stuffing, things of that nature. Again, I'm not a fan of stuffing. Because here's the thing. To me, too many things, it's not worth ruining your food, and it never goes right the way it's supposed to. Very rarely does it. Very rarely. Somebody said fried fish is an absolute abomination. Here, here. And by the way, anybody who does fish in the microwave at work should be fired on the spot.
I think that's a little lenient. They should just be shot.
Yeah, that's a terrible, terrible thing when somebody does.
God. So my daughter was just out here, and so she eats really healthy. So and I do as well. If you can count, Uncrustables as healthy, and I do actually. I think it's a vegetable. So she made fish the other night, and so I was down at the other. So if you guys don't know, I do my other show. We rented an apartment 4 or 5 doors down. So you got to go down the hallway and just turn left. And it's the second door, and I turned the corner and I could smell the fish, and I thought that's coming from our house because I know she likes fish, and I'm gonna have to eat my dinner in the other place because it just grosses me out. Fish is something. And if you do it, honest to God, if you do it in the microwave, just throw the microwave away. Let's start all over.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that out.
No, you blow it up. Yeah, you blow it up. It is just awful. Steel Panther is the greatest band of all time. Steel Panther. You know what I learned music-wise last night? John Bon Jovi was actually at the recording of Queen and David Bowie's Pressure. He was a gopher, and he was running a thing.
Oh, yeah, he was an assistant engineer before he got...
And he said, I was 20, and I saw them in there, and they were doing it, and I could barely hear what they were doing. And I didn't know what it was. But it was just neat to see them there before that thing went sideways. So let's be real. The Epstein stuff is, you don't want it to get ugly. It's too late for that. The genie's out of the bottle. This was an unforced error that has become something it shouldn't have become. They should have put it out there. It is not a good look. We shouldn't be sitting here trying to protect people. There's no reason to protect individuals that are evil and bad. There is zero reasons to do so. Zero. I mean, there is no reasons whatsoever. We can't say, hey, guess what, guys? We care about girls and boys not playing the same sports because it's unfair, and we don't want boys, young boys in girls' locker rooms. And then at the same time but it's okay that billionaires are going to do awful, horrible things because they have power and influence over people. This was a PSA that came out and was out yesterday with several of the women.
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me. When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Yeah. Again, this should be about, it shouldn't be politics. It should be right, wrong. This should be about the people who are victims. Yes, Bill.
The only man that has had any consequences for this whatsoever has been Prince Andrew, and he lost his titles and had to move.
Yeah.
The poor bastard.
Yeah.
That's all that's happened.
Yeah, that's it. He lost titles. He had to move. He's not living in squalor. Okay, none of that stuff. He's still on the estates. We just don't call him your royal douchebag or whatever it was he was called. I forgot which one he was.
Royal kid diddler.
Yeah, yeah. Uncle Touchy McFeely, come here. No. It is, we as a nation should want this. And it's important to me, not just because I raise kids, because what I went through as a kid was awful. It's important to me because I'm raising daughters. And every one of us should think to themselves the justice we should want. And if we can't sit here and say, and see, the thing is, much like COVID, right? What would COVID have been like had politics not played such a massive role in what became the world that we have right now? We are so divided. It doesn't matter what happens. Politics gets involved and everything goes sideways. If these were criminals, which they are, that were not surrounded by politicians, did not have influence, did not have an association with Trump or Clinton or anybody else, but they were just scumbags that we heard that they caught in some large sting that had been going on for several years, people would be cheering it. But because the fear of it could hurt my team tribal BS, that's wrong. That's wrong. And that's why more needs to be paid attention to the victims. You know, Matt and I were talking about yesterday, we got into, he's like, well, why aren't they come? They have come, by the way, several have come forward. Some of them signed NDAs. They were given money and basically told to shut up. Some were threatened in serious ways. And that's been a big issue that they're worried about. And some, their lawyers have said, you know, let's get past this situation and see what may happen before anything else. Because you don't want to, the worry is you're going to associate somebody like Larry. So, like, if you guys are not paying attention to the guy that ran Harvard, Summers, he was writing Jeffrey Epstein up until a couple days before he went to jail. And this is a guy who was the president of Harvard, still writing him, helping him. Like, hey, Jeff, I need help. I got this girl that I really like. She's going to be one of my mentees. Can you help me? You're like my wingman. These are powerful people. That's why I said the other day, don't look at the emails and what's in them. Go look at the people that were getting the emails as much as anything else. This shouldn't be about politics. Unfortunately, we make everything about politics nowadays. If there's a coin flip, it's politics. It's bad. It's bad. Could be. My team could be in trouble. It's not about that. So they're going to vote later today. I don't know what's going to happen in the vote, to be honest with you. My assumption is I don't know how many people are going to cross over. And then from there, I don't know how many people are going to, you know, for the most part, what they're going to say afterwards. So you wouldn't sign on to it, but you will vote for it. Now what? Well, now it's going to go to Congress. And that's the big issue right there, because what's Congress going to do with it? What's John Thune going to do with it?
Talked him through this with him and shared our deep concerns. And of course, they share those concerns as well. And so I'm very confident that when this moves forward in the process, if and when it is processed in the Senate, which there's no certainty that that will be, that they will take the time methodically to do what we have not been allowed to do in the House, to amend this discharge petition and to make sure that these protections are there.
Yeah. Let's make sure. How many people are going to vote for it? Well, you know, you probably have, I think, you know, you have enough. I would be surprised if, you know, you got to have 60. But even then, Trump is going to go and sign it. He doesn't have a choice. If he doesn't sign it, I mean, the look would be awful.
Well, especially after turning around and saying, yeah, you guys should vote for this.
Yeah, no doubt. It would be awful. It would be absolutely awful. But understand, the look here across the board has been awful. You pushed for it, you had the opportunity to release it, then you turned it into something you shouldn't have turned it into. We talked about the fact you turned it into the Streisand effect, lands on you, and now you've, yes, no, maybe, don't do it. Absolutely. It's a hoax. It's not real. It's this, it's that. It's all. And then what is it? Well, okay, do it. Go ahead. Release it. But do I believe that we're going to get everything? No, I never thought we were going to get everything. Do I believe we're going to get really anything? You know, Chris and I were talking about if it comes out that it's only people on the left that have done something, everybody's going to be super suspicious, as they should be. Because let's be real, those donors, they don't care about red or blue. They care about green and power. But I think we need to focus more not on the politics, but on these women, these people whose lives were changed in horrible ways by dirty, scummy, greedy, evil men.
A couple of months ago, they had sent it to a judge asking to release certain things, and he shut down some of the grand jury grand jury information because it would.
Well, you can't unseal the grand jury.
So that still won't be released.
No,
correct?
because you can't unseal the grand jury. That's something that, and everybody knew they couldn't do that, but it was a show of, look, we tried, but it didn't work.
So if people are saying, well, they didn't release everything because that didn't come out, we should never have expected that to come out.
Yeah, we should never expect some of that stuff to come out. I think some of that stuff to come out would have to take, because when they go and prosecute and indict people, then the grand jury stuff will come out, but that stuff wasn't going to come out the way that they wanted it to because it was more a show than anything else. It was more a show than anything else. And this will be interesting to see what happens, how much. Remember, all of these emails, they have nothing to do with the files. The files are separate of these. These are stuff that the family had, Epstein's family had. This has nothing to do with the files themselves. And his brother, by the way, has been talking for the last 24 hours saying, he had enough to destroy Trump and everybody else. And he also said, my brother was murdered. He didn't commit suicide. So we'll see. He also said Bubba was not the Bubba you think of when you hear about that weird email. So everybody settle down there, too. Coming up. Oh, my God. Have you seen, Ken, have you seen the latest with Yellowstone?
Yeah, I ran a little story on that earlier.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you.
About
by the
volcano?
way. No. By the way, I just want to thank everybody who is a lover of nature and also stupid for going to places where there are wild animals. And you guys make me smile. And I just keep it up. That's all I got to say. Keep it up. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. All right, Bulwark Capital. 2 days from now, 5:30 our time, they're doing a review preview going on. It's a live webinar. Okay, so it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. They're going to talk about everything from, is your portfolio and your retirement and your investments, are they exposed, especially with AI? AI itself, is there a bubble that's ready to pop? And they're going to talk about what it is they do, which is lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, but how they have a global value investing look and outlook on everything, which is incredible. It's called the Review Preview. It's absolutely free. You can sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com. On top of that, you can also sign up to get a Know Your Risk review, where they'll go through your entire portfolio, talk about where your goals are, show you, what's going on in there, and if they think you can get there and if they can help. Simple and easy. Sign up. It is this Thursday, 5:30 our time. It is the Review Preview with my friends at Bulwark Capital. Sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com, knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25338.
All right, drivers, got a crash over on the East Loop going eastbound downtown. It is on the on-ramp, partially blocking it. This is to get on to 24 eastbound from Shelby Avenue. President Trump says he will not rule out sending U.S. troops into Venezuela. We got this story and more at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A lot of you chiming in about the Epstein stuff, and they're like, well, don't you think they would have released it if it was, again, not about the politics of it all. Think of the victims, okay? Take politics out of something. Like we said earlier, if they would have arrested 20 guys running a ring of girls trafficking, we wouldn't take the politics into it. But because these are powerful people, yes, I understand the politics of it all. But that's why this shouldn't be right or left. This should be right or wrong. This should be about holding people accountable. Because if people get away with it, then at this point in time, what are they doing? Do you think they're not doing stuff like that? They got a smile on their face if they can get away with anything. Speaking of getting away with stuff, we do laugh a little bit. Because you see, people, well, they're stupid. And how do I know that? Because they go into nature. And they do stupid things with nature. You go into the ocean, right? I think we all agree on this. You understand there's sharks in there. Could something happen? Yes, the chances are minute, but something can happen. There's a bigger chance that you're going to drown than anything else.
Unless you try to take a selfie with a shark.
Then at that point in time, you're an idiot, whatever. But we're the only nation where I think people get bit on the shore because they want to take a picture with the shark. You're an idiot. That being said, if you go to nature and you then want to get close to nature, not because you're a professional, but because you're an influencer, well, God bless you.
Shocking video from Yellowstone National Park shows a man getting dangerously close to a pack of black wolves.
This could end very badly for that guy.
Bystanders watching in horror as the man moves towards them.
He kept approaching, and we're like, oh my word, this is crazy.
The wolves eventually retreat and the man walks away. Previously, the park has seen troubling close encounters with bison, but people getting too close to wildlife is a trend that extends far beyond Yellowstone's borders.
Now, I was bummed because I was hoping it was a dire wolf. Because as you know, dire wolves would have eaten that guy. They don't mess around. But I'm not going to tell you not to pet an animal. If you see something in the wild and you're like, I'm not sure I should touch that, do it. Go ahead and give it a hug.
This guy will do something again.
Of course.
He got lucky here.
Yes. And you know what he's lucky? He's lucky it was daytime. That was a big one. And he's also lucky it wasn't a bison. Because as we all know what happens with the bisons, they love hugs.
Yeah. Oh, they do indeed. They like to wrap their horns right around your innards.
I am shocked, though, that nobody recognizes all the things that happen to people in the wild when they do stuff like this. And it's, you know why? Because people live and say, well, it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. That's the person where you're like, it's totally going to be him. It is. So, again, we appreciate you guys going into nature. Don't light anything on fire. And if you're going to get close to an animal that's dangerous, make sure somebody else is filming your demise. That's all we ask. It's not a lot. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. A lot of good stuff. MBS in town. That is the head of Saudi Arabia, Crown Prince. Talk a little bit about him. It's not an official state dinner because we don't have the giant tent yet, but wait till you see it. It's going to be so golden. It's going to be fantastic. Talk a bit about what was going on there. Ronaldo as well in town wanted to meet with Trump. Bunch of other goodies on the way. If you're missing the show, shame. Grab the podcast. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Just picked up a stalled vehicle over here. It's on the left shoulder, and it is blocked. That's going to be 40 westbound near Stewart's Ferry Pike. And over on the East Bank going eastbound, got a crash partially blocking the on-ramp to eastbound 24 from Shelby Avenue. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tell you about the risk for severe weather later today and tonight. President Trump says he won't rule out sending U.S. troops into Venezuela as part of a growing military buildup in the Caribbean. About 15,000 American forces already deployed at sea and on land targeting drug networks that the president says is linked to President Nicolas Maduro. And right now in our nation's capital, the House debating a bill to compel the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Jenna Lisa Jones, one of the victims who spoke at a press conference beforehand.
Republican issue. It is not a Democratic issue. It is also not a hoax. We are here as American survivors of a man who used his wealth and power to hurt young girls and women.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I'm going to vote to move this forward. I think it could be close to a unanimous vote because everybody here, all the Republicans, want to go on record to show they're for maximum transparency, but they also want to note that we're demanding that this stuff get corrected before it is ever moves through the process and is completed.
The debate and voting is underway. The debate is underway, that is. The voting has not yet started. Right now in Chicago, Fox 32 says a person of interest is in custody after a 26-year-old woman was set on fire during an argument on a commuter train. Reports say a man poured an unknown liquid over her, ignited it, setting her on fire. The suspect then ran away. The woman came out of the train, collapsed on the platform on fire. She suffered severe burns to her body. She was rushed to a hospital in critical condition, and again, a 45-year-old man is in custody. Meanwhile, in Maryland, Sam Sweeney says investigators have settled on what they think caused that deadly Francis Scott Key bridge collapse. NTSB officials say the labeling on an electrical wire caused a blackout on the cargo ship that then slammed into the bridge, killing 6 people.
It got stuck at the label, so it didn't go all the way in, and over time that wire loosened, and that particular wire was the one wire needed to keep the engine on the dolly powered. Well, on March 26th, that became loose, and it disconnected.
That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
What is that, party people? Looks like they're debating it on the floor. Here's the thing. Here's something else that I don't think people realize. Donald Trump could just say, release everything. We don't need any of this. He could do that.
I think he's wanting to give them an opportunity to go on the record saying, I voted to release it.
Yeah. See, there was nothing there. All they got was these people over here that were bad. They're my enemies. I can't believe that. But they're debating on the floor. Johnson just said it'll probably be unanimous. Now what happened? Here's the thing. Well, he said last night the stuff that can be released will be released. Everything's going to be redacted. We're not going to see anything. We're not. And so understand that that's what's going to happen. They're going to give us very little, and know that this administration, along with several other administrations and people in high places, not just here, in America, also in other countries, did everything they could to cover up absolutely one of the most horrific things done to young women. How many of them? 1,000 plus. So think about that for a second. We should all be frustrated with that. So yes, if you want to know, they can get away with it. How's that make everybody feel? They can get away with it. What we were listening to earlier, our buddies over on Breaking Points, where they were reading something from, was it The Wrap? Where there was a lady who's super liberal. She goes, I used to hate going to Thanksgiving because I had that uncle who used to say that there is a cabal of powerful men who are child molesters who run the world. And she goes, I used to think they were crazy. Now I got to admit they're right. Just ridiculous. All that being said, today, MBS is in town. If you don't know who MBS is, that has been Salman, who is he's the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. He is the guy that is the dude when it comes to Saudi Arabia. I mean, there is nobody. This guy he's in charge of the investment fund. He's in charge of everything. And the stuff about Khashoggi is hanging out there. And if you guys don't know what happened to Khashoggi, it was a horrible thing. It was. When it comes to what happened to him. And everybody, and by the way, it's not just, like Trump meeting with him. You remember when Biden had to go out there? He had to finally put his tail between his legs and go to Saudi Arabia and go, could you guys turn the spigot back on? Because OPEC's all, as OPEC does. And he goes over there, it's like, oh, can you turn on the spigot? And they're like, no. And Trump's going to get a lot of crap for it. By the way, he's trying to cut deals, right? Selling airplanes, and he's trying to cut deals. Looks like he got anywhere between $600 billion and $1 trillion investment. Again, have to look at the numbers, what it looks like, what's actually pledged and what might be pledged. But do I understand? Yeah, I understand why people would be uncomfortable with it. Remember when all the golfers went to the Live Tour and everybody's like, I can't believe they're doing that, 9/11. Well, yeah. It sucks. I get it. It does. But we live in a time when it's a global world. We have to, especially in that region, have friends. We have bases over there. And you got to cut deals. You do. And what happened to Khashoggi was awful and horrible. But we're not going to deal, because we need some normalization if we're going to get Gaza and Israel into a situation where there's semi-normalization. We're going to have Saudi Arabia involved. We're going to have Egypt involved. We're going to have several others, including like Indonesia, who had thrown their hat into the ring, involved in these things. And so him being here, my question was today, it's the Swiss bought a Rolex, they brought gold, and they brought chocolate for Trump. My question is, what's he bringing? Because he's got all the money. He's got more money than the Swiss.
He's bringing one of those big, long scimitars that they use to execute people.
Have you ever seen how he travels?
Yes.
So if you guys don't know how, when like, there's money and then there's stuff where you're just like, there's well-to-do, there's rich, there's wealthy, and then there's these people.
The plane that he has is so opulent, it makes Air Force One look like a
it makes it look like a joke. He flies with 2 planes. You want to know why? Because he also brings his own escalator because he doesn't walk down the stairs. They have like an escalator for him to get down. I was watching there's a video, I think it's of him, and it reminds me because somebody just sent a picture of I think it's a Falcon. I'm like, are you a Falconer? But I think it's like a 747 flying over, and it's all these falcons and birds of prey on top of the coach with their little thing over their eyes. And like he sent somebody to go pick all these things up. Like that's the kind of money they have. It's the kind of stuff we can't even fathom the opulence of this kind of stuff. That being said, we got to do deals with these people. We don't have to like him. He's trying to whitewash it. They're trying to sports wash, right? They just did the big comedy thing there. Well, you got to work with some people. I didn't begrudge anybody who went over there to comedy and got the money. Some people chose not to. Again, good for you. I didn't begrudge anybody for doing that. But we have to deal with these nations.
Apparently, they were paying some outrageous rates.
Yeah.
To kind of to just get these guys to go, okay, I'll do it just because it's so much money, even though I don't think I should. So like some people triple and 4 times what their normal rate would be.
Yeah. It was because people were being offered. So we're talking about a night, right? So like if you're a star, like a star, I think they offered Chappelle like $1.5 million. He did like 30 minutes or an hour. And they just told him, you can't make fun of the royals. Outside of that, everything, do your thing.
No gay jokes.
No gay jokes. Unless it's gay negative, then have fun at it. But like none of that stuff. Because the thing is, they're trying to show, hey, look at us. We're trying to not be this barbaric world that everybody thinks we are. We're trying to get away from that. And yes, sports washing is a part of it. Entertainment washing is a part of it. They're trying to, why? Because they recognize 2 things. First, they recognize oil's not going to last forever for them. That's why they've invested in so many other things, because they want to be on the precipice of, whatever's coming next, they want to be on, whether it is just AI or whether they want to be right at the forefront of it, because the fear is, hey, this is going to run out one day, or somebody is going to invent something where it's just, it's just, you go, and the car takes off. So that's their fear. And they don't want to get back to where they were way back in the day when there was just nothing else out there. So they're doing all of these things. And yes, military is part of it as well. So when I see a lot of people out there, well, what happened to Khashoggi? There he was, this powerful, voice of freedom in a place where there isn't any freedom, and he was murdered. It was awful what happened to him. It was. And, Trump today, I don't know what he said. They made it seem like he said it was no big deal, or, stuff happens or whatever, which sounds like something Trump would say. But Trump didn't do it. He didn't. And yes, they knew it happened. All that aside, we still have to deal with him because of Israel. And that was the big thing too. He's saying to them, and Israel's pissed that we have him here today because we're selling him F-35s. Why? Because they have F-35s. And they don't want the matching kind of thing going on there, right? They don't want any of that. They want to be the kings of the Middle East and whatnot. Well, they are, because we're behind their backs, Israel. And so
they don't have to worry about any parity military-wise with another country over there that hates them.
No chance. No chance. No chance. And they just asked for a new, by the way, this is the other thing Israel just asked for. Israel sees the writing on the wall when it comes to America and really the West, and kind of how they've said, all right, we've had enough of endless wars. And they asked us for a 20-year defense deal, like a contract with them. So we signed it for 20 years because they know we're not You're not going to get, because if it's a Democrat that wins in 2028, they're not getting a 20-year defense deal. They're not. They're not getting a 10-year. They may get a year-to-year. They may get a 5-year. It is, and it may even, if it might be a Republican that wins that says, you know what? It's one thing to be an ally to Israel. It's another thing to be essentially feeling like we're their gopher. And so, yeah, they're trying their hardest there. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Israel coming up later. They are going to be voting here soon. Mike Johnson thinks it's going to be unanimous. How weird is it? So think about all of these Congress people who are going to vote yes today, but Saturday they were doing nothing but criticizing this as a Democrat hoax. Now they're going to go vote for it. How do you square that with your world? Now it's up to Thune, and I don't know what Thune's going to do. I don't. I mean, I don't think he has a choice but to get it through. Now the question is going to be, and like I've said over and over again, the question is going to be, what do we see? Trump, is going to sign it. He's going to say, I put it out there. You guys just aren't happy with it. There's always going to be people that aren't happy with it. Blah, 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 blah. But if I was joking with Bell yesterday. They're like, all right, here's all the files. There's 8 pages. That's it. 8 pages. That's all we had. 8 pages.
Well, they could put out 150 pages unredacted and people would go, you're hiding stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And the women, I want to see what the women are going to do. The women whose voices now, a lot of them we know, we see. And remember, there's 1,000 of them. What do they say if they're like, oh, yeah, there was nobody here, nobody there? Would you say last hour, the only person that paid the price at all for anything and no jail time?
Well, the only male, because Ghislaine's
the only male. Ghislaine. But yeah, no jail time. Well, of course, it's always about the women, right? But it was Prince Andrew, who's not a prince anymore. I don't even know what we call him.
Dude.
That's it. And no jail time. No jail time. So they're going to vote soon. Currently, they're voting now. All right. Lots of yays. So far, no nays. We're rolling through this, so we should have the final vote here in a little bit. Mike Johnson thinks it's going to be unanimous. Then on to the Senate, and we'll see how long it takes them to Trump gets it. And remember, Trump could have just said release them all, and that could have happened. And he decided not to. Put us through all this.
He went through all that trouble not to swear in, what's her name, from
Grijalva.
Arizona, because she was the deciding vote, and now it's going to be unanimous.
Yep, unanimous indeed. All right, coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. It is Hot Take Tuesday. We got some hot takes. My favorite hot take so far today, though, has been Ken's. Ken did something. Let's just put it. His hot take is Ken.
This is true.
Ken's hot take is himself, which I love.
Grief.
But I love it, Ken.
Ruined my freaking day, man.
Oh, wait till you guys hear what this is. Lots of hot takes. Remember your hot take, if you're going to send us one, 0 politics. Just throw other fun stuff out there. And we're going to also start asking you for One Hit Wonder Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So get your One Hit Wonder in, no matter what that is. You can text the program. You can tweet at us, at Chad Benson Show is mine. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. Wear my Raycons every day. So if you're looking for a great Christmas present, they're getting ahead of it. It is the Black Friday, Cyber Monday opportunity. 30% off across the board with Raycon. So you get up to 30% off across the board, including their classic earbuds, which the fit and feel, second to none. The comfort level, wearing something for several hours a day, you want it to be comfortable. On top of that, you've got 8 hours of talk time, which is awesome, 32 hours of battery life. And for most of us, we're listening to stuff, whether it's podcasts, The Awesome Chad Benson Show and WTN, or you're watching YouTube or doing something. This is going to help you just relax and not blow your ears out. Active noise cancellation. And here's the other thing, multi-connectivity. So you can be on your computer, you can be watching television, whatever it is, multi-connectivity. And when you charge it, they have fast charging. Every 10 minutes gives you 90 minutes of listening power. So what are you doing? Go right now, buyraycon.com/Chad, 30% off right now across the board. Check out everything, including the classic earbuds from Raycon. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
Drivers still got a crash reported partially blocking the on-ramp from Shelby Avenue to eastbound 24 over on the East Loop. And then in Hermitage, a stalled vehicle blocking the left shoulder 40 westbound near Stewart's Ferry Pike. And right now in our nation's capital, the House is voting on releasing all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. We've got that and more coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Currently, there are no nays. It's all yays.
Not even close to being finished, though.
No, it's not, but I don't think anybody's going to vote against it at this point in time.
Well, and here's the thing, man. What sort of weird curveball is going to come out of this? Because there's always some little weird off-ramp when it involves Congress.
You're absolutely correct. There's going to be something there.
Like some sort of thing, well, we couldn't release all.
Yeah, that's just it. Couldn't release all, or we only had these, or we can't find the other ones, or coffee fell on the zip drive, or there'll be something.
Or this was just
threat to national security.
Or this was just a vote to talk about the vote.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. Because what did Mike Johnson say? So that way they can go and kind of sort this out or something. You're like,
fix something.
Yeah, fix something. Speaking of fixing something, let's get serious and talk about hot takes. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. All right, kids, hot take Tuesday. My hot take is I love Thanksgiving. I don't like butt stuffing. That stupid stuff they put in there that's horrible. Right? It's just like a sponge. If it's not done right, it's awful and horrible. But I don't like pie.
What if it's done right?
Very rarely is it ever done right.
But if it's done right, you'll eat it?
I'll eat it because even then I'm not a fan.
All right.
But we were talking about pie earlier. I don't like pie. I just don't. I don't even really like cake. I don't. You know what I like? What I like. It's a great Peter Griffin said. And I only like what I like. And that's it. So I don't like apple pie. I don't like pie a la mode. I don't like cheesecake. I just don't like sweets. It's never been my jam. So that's my hot take. Ken, tell us about you. Hot take you.
Here we go. DIY stands for destroy it yourself, which is exactly what happened to me this morning in my little Hyundai Elantra. I'm replacing the brake lights. I've got the driver's side done. I've got the passenger side done. All that's left is the little light in the back windshield. All I had to do was you just twist the little fixture. Out comes the bulb, and you take it out and you replace it, right? No. I twist the little bulb, and the entire attachment crumbles like a Ritz cracker and just falls off into my trunk. Everything.
Ritz are pretty flaky, too.
They are. Well, that's the whole point. Do you think, was it your strength? Was it the fact that you can't be stopped because of your strength? Or was it because, it's us?
So what happened is I turned it counterclockwise. It moved. Then you got to pull it.
Oh.
I turned it. Then I went to pull it and just.
Yeah, he pulled a Conan. That's what happened.
You crushed its soul. It was like right there. Next thing you know, gone.
I think I still have a piece of plastic or something in my hand.
Let's crush our enemies. So there you go. DIY. Destroy it yourself. That is from our buddy Ken.
All this was going to cost me $8.
Well, now it's going to cost you frustration, which you can't put a price on, and another $8 because you're probably going to have to fix something. See what I'm saying there? And a drive over to somewhere.
I'm not doing it, dude.
That's it. We're leaving it like it is.
I've got 2 brake lights. If you don't see my passenger and my driver's side, I don't know what to tell.
His air conditioning doesn't work. Do you think he cares about the brake lights?
The engine could fall out of his car, and he'd be like, "I'm just going to keep driving."
I am. I'm just gonna drift behind folks. All right. What do you got for us, Bell?
Any company that offers an introductory price on something can afford to continue that introductory price at any given time. So I will be calling SiriusXM today to tell them that if they jack my price from $6.50 up to $22 and change, that I won't be using their service anymore.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I agree.
Last hour, several people said, hey, they did the same thing. They called and they said, one guy said, my wife's never paid anything more than the introductory price.
Well, I'm definitely doing that because I ain't paying that much after 2 years of having that same price.
That is, man, that's a hell of a price right there. That's a jump that you're not ready for.
That's a big jump.
I also think that they're so desperate for subscribers that they'll, like the listener said, they'll give in.
Yeah, that is, you know what? That's another, well, they are desperate. I don't know. Are they desperate for subscribers?
Yes. They are doing their best to try to convert themselves to a streaming platform, and it's going really difficult for them.
Oh, is that what they're trying to focus on?
Yeah.
Like, not just in the car, but come out over here and stream us?
Yeah, it's like they're literally making content that they want to be used for a streaming platform, and it just gets broadcast on the radio first.
Somebody said, I got 3 years at $3 a month.
Awesome.
Oh, that is great.
And it should just stay that way.
People say, call, threaten to cancel. They'll go with it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one right there. I like that.
That's why I got rid of YouTube TV. I'm tired of it. Every year, even if there's not some sort of dispute with one of the streaming services or channels, they still jack your price up every year.
Yeah, and right now you're not getting any ABC stuff.
No, I
you?
think it came back.
No, it came back, but
what are you paying a month?
I was nearly $100 a month.
Yes.
And they haven't announced a price hike yet, but it's coming because they're not going to eat that themselves.
No, they're not. Hell no, they're not going to eat that. And what do people like? People like live sports, and YouTube TV has that, and they recognize ABC, but for college football and the NFL for ESPN, they recognize that people are willing to pay a little bit more for the live sports. That was what this was not about, whatever show. I don't even know what show ABC has on anymore. I was going to say Two Men and a Baby. I don't even know what they have.
$6 Million Man?
$6 Million Man.
I got canceled a while ago.
I have no idea. I have zero idea. That's how much I know about television. All right, coming up, talk a little bit about Epstein. They're voting as we speak currently. It's 214-0. The yays are winning. Oh, we got a nay. A Republican nay. Who is that?
Thomas Massey.
Yeah, just now that you guys are over there, I'm going over here.
Be a contrarian.
Yeah.
It's just.
So that would be funny.
Oh,
my Lord. All right, we'll talk about this, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show. Super Town 99.7.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are tracking the potential for severe weather tonight after 5 o'clock. Looks like about 5 o'clock to midnight is the window of opportunity, mainly along and north of I-40. And it's a very, very low risk. It's a level 1 out of 5 risk for anything severe tonight, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in our nation's capital, debates underway on the House floor ahead of a vote to compel the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. As you just heard Chad say, there have been no nays until just before we went on the news here. And there was one nay, apparently in the Republican column, but we don't know who. President Trump isn't ruling out sending troops into Venezuela when asked about it by NBC today.
Ruling out U.S. troops on the ground?
No, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything.
The U.S. currently has about 15,000 troops deployed at sea and on land in the region, including the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier and F-35 fighter jets aimed at disrupting drug trafficking networks. Trump was speaking alongside the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, whom Trump is hosting.
Very good friend of mine. And I'm very proud of the job he's done. What he's done is incredible in terms of human rights and everything else.
So this is the first time Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been in the U.S. since the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, which U.S. intelligence said at the time bin Salman ordered. Now, he denied it, but then took responsibility as head of the Saudi government. And right now in Chicago, police say they have a person of interest in custody after a woman was seen being set on fire on a commuter train. Witnesses say there was an argument. A man poured an unknown liquid on the woman, then ignited it. He ran away. She burst into flames, collapsed on the platform outside of the train, and was rushed to a hospital in critical condition. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
From the Beacon Capital Management Weather Center. Strong storms possible late today. I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. A lot of cloud cover today. Temperatures topping off in the 70s this afternoon. It's also breezy with wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. This evening into the early parts of tonight, a few showers and thunderstorms rumble through the mid-state, and we could see thunderstorms produce heavy downpours, gusty winds, maybe even some small hail. So make sure you stay weather ready around and just after dinner time. The rain tapers off overnight tonight. We're dry tomorrow morning, dry through the afternoon, and high stay in the 70s.
Write this down, painisbad.com, or go to 615-246-5009. Why is that? That is the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you think you can't have a pain-free life because of your back, right, because you got sciatic and it's just driving you crazy, you got slipped and bulged disc, you're thinking, Chad, there's nothing they can do, you're wrong. Right now, $12, comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed. They're going to explain diagnosis, first treatment. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley are going to get you up, moving, and feeling so much better. There is no surgery, no spinal injections, no painkillers. In fact, if you need surgery, they're going to tell you you need surgery. But you watch what they do for you. You will feel a difference. If you've been frustrated and you think, oh, just can't, what am I going to do? You're going to go to the Wellness Institute in Nashville. They're who I trust. They're who I swear by. Check out everything they do and go today. Just again, $12, comprehensive exam, x-rays, bring your MRI. You're going to get diagnosed and your first exam right there and on your way to feeling better. Painisbad.com or call 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Dun, 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 dun. So earlier today on my national show, my buddy on the show, he is a military analyst, retired major, stuff with NATO, teaches at the old West Point and stuff, and smart guy. We were talking about Venezuela, and I said to him, I'm going to play several minutes here about Venezuela because he's in the mix for all of this stuff. He's talking to people on a daily basis that is going to be there, and being a guy that served in multiple theaters of combat. I asked him, I said, dude, let's be real. We got the Gerald R. Ford there, right, Mike? Mike Lyons' his name. We didn't get dressed up for nothing. So what is like the end game? What's the plan?
Yeah, good morning, Chad. The thing is, I spent the most time talking with other folks about this issue, and we all came to the conclusion that nobody really understands the strategy here. No one knows specifically what we're trying to do besides project power. For someone that's trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize, the ground invasion into Venezuela doesn't make any sense. The thing is, you're dealing with professionals, right? All of the military chain of command, top to bottom, are professionals, and they'll do any job that's assigned to them, and they get these legal orders. But what specifically is that? JSOC, all those special ops, all those guys are standing by, trying to figure out what specifically is the mission here. I don't see putting boots on the ground inside of Venezuela. I don't see that kind of regime change being conducted by the U.S. It's not Panama. And so we've got to push harder on what specifically is going on here. But to your point, they have dressed up the military, and there's a lot of firepower there, taking out a couple of speedboats, bringing small volumes of cocaine to the United States. It's just too much of a projection of power.
Talking to Mike Lyons, military analyst, we talk about all things when it comes to the military. Again, we're dressed up. We got so many, I don't know how many, we're up to like 10,000, soldiers that are there. We've got the ginormous ships. We've got the firepower when it comes to our drones, and even now some of our, planes. The reality of, though, going in on the ground is way different, because while their military isn't the Venezuelan military isn't very modern, what they do have is they have a militia from the Bolivars. They also have enough that would cause hell. And what we have over there isn't going to be enough to handle if we try to go in there.
No, and that's the tell, in that the Army's not involved. This has been a maritime Navy operation from the beginning, taken away from the Coast Guard, really. This narco-terrorism projection, a lot of performative things, I think, taking place here. I think the blowing up of the boats is really just that performative. But without the Army involved, I don't see anything going on the ground. And you can send in, again, small units and the like that can go after some of these facilities and try to do the counterterrorism things that take place that we've done in other countries. They've made this analogy towards Afghanistan and how they're communicating, and their KIAs and everything, and all that goes with that means that this is not going to be an operation, I think, until the Army gets involved. Once we see the Army start to deploy troops there, and from the 82nd, from the 101st, from the units that have the kind of capability, the helicopters and the like, then we have to really sit up and pay attention. Right? It still looks more like a projection of power.
So your gut, what's your gut say? Is this just a projection of power, and eventually we're going to try to work? I mean, he said, come take all the stuff you want. We don't really care. Yeah. But that's not enough. And they don't really, the other side of it, and I've been explaining this to people, as they said, well, it's the Monroe document, it's this, that, and the other. I'm like, first of all, everybody knows we're badasses. Nobody's going to mess with us, and we can control everything. So I think that's we don't need that. But there is no clear person to take over. The person that won last year doesn't even have any kind of, they're not in the country. Then you've got that other lady who, they've talked about this 100-hour thing that we'll do. My fear is we depose him, and all of a sudden there's a civil war breaking out.
Yeah, that's what the playbook has been in the past historically, and you're right. We don't have to send a strike group to the Caribbean in order to project power, because this is our hemisphere from the Monroe Doctrine. Everybody recognizes that. Again, this is where I just don't know what the strategy is. I think that would be the worst possible thing. Venezuela is flush with rare earth minerals, with resources, and obviously the socialism is what put it in the position it's in today, if you want a good example from a historical perspective. But there's no military solution. I just don't see the military solution here, and it won't stop the amount of cocaine coming out of Colombia. That has to be fixed at that root source as well. And then, of course, the challenge in Mexico, where it gets combined with the Chinese-made fentanyl and then distributed to the United States. Are we going to invade Mexico? Is that the next shoot a drop here? So again, I just don't understand the strategy. I don't think they've done a very good job of explaining it as well.
So that's Mike Lyons, military analyst. Spoke with him earlier today, and this is what he does. I mean, has been on and in several theaters and has drawn up, at West Point. I mean, this is what he does every day in contact with all these people talking, and they're like, we have no idea what we're doing. We don't have any idea what's going on. And it's just, as I was joking, we don't get dressed up for nothing. If you've seen Braveheart, where they're all getting ready to have that big fight, and then he turns and we didn't get dressed up for nothing. It's the same thing. We didn't get dressed up to show up and to do what? Some maneuvers out there? And the question about everybody's like, don't think of Iraq, think of Panama. No, you've got way too many issues here with more firepower, by the way. And what does it look like if we do go and we don't have enough people in? If the army starts showing up, then you know that it's probably going to get serious. And Trump has already said, I've not ruled out boots on the ground. But then who runs the country? A person that's not there, that won the election, that nobody's like, we recognized them last year, or you've got this lady who won the Nobel Peace Prize. And by the way, the first thing she said she's going to do, she's going to move the Venezuelan consulate or embassy to Jerusalem. That's her first thing she said she was going to do if she takes over. What does that have to do with anything? And then you've got Lindsey Graham out there going, it's because of Hezbollah. That's why we need to attack. And you're just like, has that guy ever met something he didn't want to invade or blow up outside of a, strip club? Stop it, Chad. So, it's going to be interesting. There's no doubt. And then today, of course, he said, well, what about Mexico? And that's what I've said. If we're going to get serious, isn't it about Mexico? I mean, yeah, cocaine is a big issue, kind of, sort of, in the 80s. Where do you have to get cocaine? You have to get in a time machine. I mean, it's not like there's no meth there. I mean, it comes from Mexico and China, and the components of it are all assembled there, and then it gets here. But we also aren't addressing the other thing that we need to address, which is, our consumption of it, which is out of control still. Our consumption of this stuff is massive. So we will see. Mexico could be next. Colombia, you could be on the docket as well. We're not quite sure, but we got stuff. So be prepared. And I don't. And again, I don't know what it would look like if we went into Mexico, because we're not going to go in, with boots on the ground. But shine bombs threatened. How dare you even think about it? They're our number one trade partner. What would that do? That would be crazy if we decided to get involved in that way. And they're having serious issues because of the fact that a lot of people do not feel that their government is holding up their end of the bargain. They're bought, they're paid for from the cartels, is the way everybody looks at it. And those who want to speak up, well, they're eliminated fast. I mean, that's a modern society. When you think about, everybody thinks, well, Mexico's this. No, you go into Mexico, yes, are there many areas that are run down, and it's dirt floors. My grandmother, or my great-grandmother, we used to go to her house in Mexico, and it wasn't just like, is it like Tijuana? No, we drove 10 hours in, and you go there, she had a dirt floor. She had a dirt floor. She was proud. She took care of it. She would never move. My grandfather tried to move her 1,000 times, and she would never move. But those places, when you get into big major cities, Mexico City is like Barcelona. But it's the outskirts, and it's close to the border. And so could we see drone attacks? It's possible. I don't think we'll see an invasion by us. But the Venezuela stuff's going to be very interesting to see what happens because we didn't get dressed up for nothing. Meanwhile, unity in Congress. Unity. All but one. Do we know who the one was that did not vote for it?
Yes.
Who was it?
Republican Clay Higgins of Louisiana.
You scumbag. You rebel scum. Why? Was there a reason?
Don't know yet.
Pushed the wrong thing?
I'll have to check his socials.
That's probably why.
Maybe he knows he's in the papers.
Yeah, that's it. People are talking about me because I voted no. So it was a Republican that voted no. Clay Higgins. What are you doing, Clay? Can't believe you, Clay. Clay Higgins. Oh, the first thing that pops up with Clay Higgins is him in a trench coat with one of those like fedora hats that makes him look like he's a spy. And the first thing that came to my mind, this guy is all about QAnon. He's never met a chemtrail. He doesn't believe his alien stuff. So he voted no. I have a principled no on this bill from the beginning. This was wrong with the bill 3 months ago. It's wrong today. It abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure, is what he's saying, of why he voted on it. If enacted in its current form, this type of broad reveal of criminal investigation files released to a rabid media will absolutely result in innocent people being hurt, not by my vote. Well, here's the thing, and I want to remind everybody of this. Oh, people will get hurt. Who's going to get hurt? You know what? You know what they're not doing? They're looking to prosecute these people and investigate them like they're looking to catch the killer of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. They're not looking for them. They know where these are. Do you think any of these people that are in here are in any way, shape, or form going to be prosecuted or investigated? No, not going to happen. It isn't going to happen. So his thing is, it's a principled no because I don't want innocent people to be dragged through the mud. I can understand that. But what's not talked about is there a way that you could still investigate? No, we're not going to do that either. Okay. Interesting. Coming up, remember that pilot that tried to exit stage left? He was sentenced. We'll talk about what happened to him. And that was crazy. If you guys don't remember him, took a couple mushrooms and things went a little sideways. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. It's the only time of the year where our friends over at Birch Gold give away gold. That's right. So for Black Friday, if you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, Birch Gold is going to send you free gold to your home with every $20,000 purchase. Gold this year from what, $2,600 start the year to over $4,000. You've got global uncertainty, especially this year. Inflation still out there. You've got central banks, hemming and hawing about whether or not the U.S. should be the reserve currency. And let's not forget strife and AI. So you need a place where maybe you can protect yourself, and gold gives you that. So you have until November 30th to take advantage of this. All right. Let me tell you something about Birch. They're amazing. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They are great with giving you the information, allowing you to really consume it and get a feel for it. They're not this crazy, you better do this or else. It's not who they are. So if you've been curious about gold, why don't you talk to him? Text my name, Benson, to 989898 now to claim your eligibility and receive free info kit on gold. Remember, the opportunity ends on November 30th when it comes to the free gold. So text the word Benson now to 989898 for Birch Gold. All right, guys, let me tell you something about our friends over at Busy Bee. They are awesome. It is the Thanksgiving time of year, and they've got something special for you. 93 are free. So this has to do with your main drain. So if you've got to clean out, you're worried about, your main drain and what could go on there, they will take care of you when it comes to your main drain. But you got to have a clean out because you don't want to be back up this time of year at all. And check this out. If you got a Thanksgiving recipe, if you submit your recipe and you win, you can get $2,000 off a new HVAC install. Runner-up gets $1,000. Now it's on the 21st of this month, so that's Friday. And here's something else. And this is important to them. And it's going to be important to all of us. Okay? So next Tuesday, right, they're kicking off their coat drive, 3 to 6, 7-seater Butcher Rock on Lebanon Square. And then Sunday, parking lot of the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, 2 to 4. And get out there, drop coats off, especially for this time of year. It's going to be cold, and they're collecting for Mount Juliet and for the families out there who don't have stuff. And that's why we love them. So if you have a chance, I don't know why he's pushing those buttons. Our buddies over at Busy Bee take care of you in so many ways. Give them a call today, or better yet, check them out online, busybeehvac.com.
Well, the U.S. House has the votes to compel the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. So what's next? We'll go over that with you at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So, I don't know if you guys remember this. Dude freaked out in the cockpit. He was a pilot. Decided, you know what? I'm going to pull these things and bounce.
Prosecutors pushed for a 1-year prison sentence, but lawyers say Emerson was not aware that he has a rare condition, making the effects of psychedelic drugs last for days instead of hours. And the pilot who helped remove him from the cockpit asked the judge not to send Emerson to prison, warning it could discourage other pilots from seeking medical help. The judge agreed, saying pilots are not perfect, they are human, while noting that Emerson has already lost his career and is never allowed to fly a plane again.
Well, that's because...
Yeah, I'd say that goes without saying.
Yeah, and so he tried to pull these two things, and these things would have been the fire extinguishers. If that would have happened, that would have killed the engines, which would have crashed the planes. He was charged... So he got 50 days in jail for the locals. Locally in Portland or in Oregon, they charged him. And he got like 50 days in jail, and he gets, I think, 3 years supervised probation. And then here he got basically the same thing. Apparently, the mushrooms stayed in his body way longer than normal people would have had the mushrooms stay in their body.
Yeah, she said days long.
Yeah.
That,
as the kids would say, he was tripping balls.
Yeah.
Man, that's got to be just...
I think I'd have called in sick or something.
Yeah, and the other pilots and stuff, they went to bat and said, look, this was obviously a mistake. He wasn't trying to kill us all. He had issues, and he's never going to work again. So you don't have to worry about that.
He will not be a pilot.
No.
Any longer.
No, he won't be a pilot any longer.
Become a mushroom farmer.
He could be. That could be one of those things. He's got a story to tell. And some people wanted him to go to jail. And look, you're that high in the air, right? There's no pulling over. There isn't like, just pull over and we'll fix it.
Nope.
There's none of that. But they said they fought with him originally. So he goes to pull it because they can already start to tell these dudes starting to lose it. Right, they can tell this dude's about ready to twist, right? So they're getting ready. And they said they get into it, and they kind of get him into a headlock, and then he just gets up, and he leaves the cockpit, and that was it. And then they diverted, and, they got him. But he was out of it. Like, that's why people say, well, why, like you said, why didn't he call in? Because he didn't know.
He was tripping.
Tripping balls.
Who knows? He might have been okay for a little bit.
He probably
and then
was.
all of a sudden, it just hit him again.
Probably freaking out. And he thought that, from what I understand, he thought that pulling those two things would wake him up because he thought he was asleep.
Goodness.
Which, by the way, that wouldn't have woken him up. That would have just killed everybody.
Yeah.
So he would have never been awoken. So, but he can't work again. So,
well, this was pre 9/11, but one time when I was working record promotion, I had a drunk guy who was trying to pull the emergency door open before we took off, and I said something to the attendant about it, and her response was, "Well, what do you want me to do? We're about to take off." that was her response.
There you go. Sounds like somebody who is done with their job. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Some more on Epstein. The vote is in. What does it mean? We shall discuss MAGA in a mega war, kind of, sort of. We'll discuss that as well. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk, 997.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We have the full forecast in 5 minutes. We'll give you some details on the very low risk of severe weather we have tonight, mainly along and north of I-40 in Middle Tennessee. Right now in our nation's capital, the House has the votes to compel the Department of Justice to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files. There was one nay. That's Republican Clay Higgins of Louisiana. No reason given. So what now? Conservative political commentator and Washington Examiner chief political correspondent Byron York telling Fox News.
No, it will apparently take quite a while. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about what's going on, that what is the extent of the Justice Department investigation now, because as you know, many times Congress has tried to get information about all sorts of things from the Justice Department, and the Justice Department says, no, that's an ongoing investigation. We can't release the information. Is that going to happen here? We don't know. So it's really kind of impossible to predict at this point.
Yeah, the topic of the Epstein files came up during a Q&A with President Trump and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. ABC News chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce asking President Trump why he hasn't directed the Justice Department to release the files. The president had, in part, this to say.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right.
Also during that Q&A with MBS, President Trump responded to the question, will he rule out sending U.S. troops into Venezuela?
Are you ruling out U.S. troops on the ground?
No, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything.
U.S. currently has about 15,000 troops deployed at sea and on land in the region, including the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, F-35 fighter jets aimed at disrupting drug trafficking networks. Right now in Illinois, Chicago police say they have a person of interest in custody after a woman was set on fire aboard a commuter train last night. Investigators say the suspect poured a liquid on the 26-year-old victim and ignited it after an argument. The woman is in critical condition at the hospital. Detectives again say they have a person of interest in custody. And the United States stands on the brink of losing its status as one of 82 countries where measles has been eradicated. ABC's Jim Ryan's in Texas, the site of this year's largest outbreak.
It began last January in a West Texas Mennonite community that generally shuns vaccines. By the time that outbreak was declared under control, nearly 800 people had been sickened and at least 2 unvaccinated children had died. Now, for the first time, federal health officials confirm that the West Texas infection spread not only to neighboring New Mexico and Oklahoma, but to Utah and Arizona. If the current transmission isn't controlled by January, the country will no longer be able to say that measles has been wiped out in the U.S. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
They did it. They came together as a unit, a show of force, minus one person. Otherwise, it was a perfect game. The Epstein files will now be kicked around and never to be seen again. But a show of force got it done. How about apples? Or were those apples? Thomas Massey.
There is hope here. We fought the president, the attorney general, the FBI director, the Speaker of the House, and the vice president to get this win. But they never, they're on our side today, though. So let's give them some credit as well. They are finally on the side of justice. And as Rose said, don't muck it up in the Senate. Don't get too cute. We're all paying attention. If you want to add some additional protections for these survivors, go for it.
Go for it. If you want to, do it. And the people that you know didn't do anything. It's fine. And I understand everybody's like, well, what about innocent until proven guilty? Look, here's my thing with the emails. If you were taking emails from this guy after he had gone to jail already for kid touching, you kind of knew what was up at that point in time. Sorry. I'm sorry. I say this, and I'll say this again and again. How many of you have friends who have trafficked and or are convicted sex offenders that you email back and forth with? Probably not many. Probably not. So I'm just putting that out there. So if you were doing like Larry Summers out there, he's like, oh, man. Dude, you were emailing him a couple days before he went to jail. Think about that. Ah, geez, I didn't know. You didn't know. You did know. It's embarrassing. It should be, you pig. Worked with the Clinton administration. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. He sure did. He also worked at Harvard. He did at that as well. Those girls too old for him, apparently. Just, now the question is what happens from here? I mean, that's the big thing. Does anything actually come out of this? Hard to say. I would assume there is going to be a lot of hemming and hawing. You know, they're going to, John Thune has it next earlier today. Mike Johnson.
Talked him through this with him and shared our deep concerns. And of course, they share those concerns as well. And so I'm very confident that when this moves forward in the process, if and when it is processed in the Senate, which there's no certainty that that will be, that they will take the time methodically to do what we have not been allowed to do in the House, to amend this discharge petition and to make sure that these protections are there.
I don't know what, again, what protections that they're asking for. So are you going to redact everything? I mean, see, the goal is, let's be real. If we're honest with ourselves, take politics out of it. They're protecting powerful people, not just here, but globally. And they're protecting them because they could potentially hurt your side of the aisle or their side of the aisle. They could hurt our donor base. They could, all of those things. Let's be real for a second. I heard Mike Johnson said, the Dems had this for 4 years. You guys had it for 2, and you didn't do anything with it. Remember, he died under your watch when you guys, had it the first time, when Trump was president. So you act like, well, they just got this stuff like the minute Trump came in. No, it was there for a while. But the fact that we can't even be open and honest about they're protecting people, and I thought the whole thing was transparency, and we were going to nip this in the bud. There wasn't going to be a cabal of evil people running stuff, and now it feels like there is. And whenever I hear people talk, very rarely do I hear them talk about the victims. Very rarely, which should frustrate the hell out of all of us. So do I think anything's going to happen from this? No. And do I think that we should throw people's names out there willy-nilly? No, there's a way of doing it. We all understand that. It's not all or nothing. But if you think, these people deserve their day in court, they're never going to have their day in court. They got to do awful things to young girls They got away with it. Something that if you did and you got caught, you'd spend a long time, and rightly so, in jail for. And they got away with it. That right there should piss everyone off. But it doesn't, because politics. Politics gets in the way of all of this stuff. It lands, and then it's like, well, the politics of it all is my side might look bad. My side might be in trouble. There is no side. There's right, there's wrong in this. If this was a group of people that was trafficking young girls who weren't involved in politics and they were caught, everybody be going, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. But not this. And the victims, they'll feel like today they had a mini victory, but I don't think a lot's going to come out of this, because by the time it goes through the Senate and they decide what they're going to do, not do, Trump signs it, that'll be that. And nothing will probably come of it. And nobody will ever be prosecuted, because there hasn't been. And remember, Kash Patel said what? Oh, nothing happened. They handed out binders. Oh, we got all these names. We got everybody. We're going to go after them. We're going to show you. And what happened? That was a big, right? That went over like a fart in a church inside of an elevator.
It was a big case of, hey, here's a package of stuff you've already known about.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this? Wait till you find out what happens in the future, because we got more stuff coming. And boy, no, we don't. Nope, nothing else coming. We lied. There's nothing else coming, guys. So now we'll do it. And I said it last hour, and I'll say it again. I think there's going to be the same kind of, going out and looking for these people who did things as they are currently looking for the people that killed Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. I think that's what's going to happen. And some people out there, they're just like, well, I'm okay, as long as I have cheap gas, stuff of that nature. Meanwhile, speaking of cheap gas, earlier today, MBS, Mohammed Sal Binman, is the guy that's the crown prince, right? MBS. So this is the guy who is the dude who runs Saudi Arabia, who's trying to, what do they call it? Sports wash it, trying to make it a little bit more modern and hip when it comes to trying to attract people to come and check it out without the fear of them getting off the plane and thinking that everybody is going to throw them in jail immediately, cane them, and then execute them. But there are some serious questions about our relationship with him. Look, what happened with Khashoggi was awful, but we live in a world where we have to have relationships with people that maybe we don't quite see eye to eye with in the way they handle business.
To hear the president directly counter what the U.S. intelligence community had assessed back in that time, that the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, approved the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, is incredibly striking. Now, the Crown Prince denied that he ordered the operation. Ultimately, he took responsibility because he is the de facto leader of the government there. But the president said today in the Oval Office that the Crown Prince knew nothing about it. And then he went after Jamal Khashoggi, saying that he was extremely controversial and that people didn't like him.
That right there is... If you guys don't know what happened to Jamal Khashoggi, he was, yes, was he controversial? Yes, he was. Was he arguably the most influential voice in the Middle East when it came to the press? Yes. He was killed by 15 Saudi operatives.
He was basically slaughtered.
He was, are you ready for this? Strangled. His body was dismembered. He was disposed of in a way that had never been publicly revealed, but finally they figured it out. They tried to live. They did. And when they killed him, they didn't just shoot him or strangle him. They did horrible things to him. And the fact that Trump comes out and goes, well, he wasn't a good guy. It's just like, okay. We always have to justify it. No. Come on. We can do better than that. He's here. You knew people were going to ask the questions. I mean, how do you approach it? Look, He says he's taken responsibility because of his country, because of who he is. He's taken responsibility for it. That's that. There you go. And you move on. You don't have to come out and go, well, Khashoggi sucks. And by the way, if you guys don't know, he was actually living in America. This happened in Turkey. He was living in America, and he was working for the Washington Post. And they did horrible things. Dismembered him. There's videos, which you don't want to see, of them bringing bags out, like, too. It's the kind of things that you would see in a mob movie, which is nasty. That was just, 15. I think he was going there for, I forgot, it was the consulate for something. I don't know if it was a marriage license or something like that. He was called to meet. It was just, he was sucked in. And he thought, oh, I can get away with this. Regardless of whether or not he was a good guy, right, or he kicked puppies or didn't, that was, I think we can all admit, a little bit far. Just a smidge far. We've got our hot takes coming up here, Hot Take Tuesday. A lot of you chiming in about,
He was certifying his divorce.
Oh, there you go. Well, he's a widow now. So a lot of you chiming in about the Epstein stuff. Again, don't make it political. Just think about it from a different point of view. And it's hard. I get it, because everything's political. Everything's politics today. And we've become so tribal and so emotional at this moment in time because of the internet and the algorithms that it's hard not to. But just think about the victims. Think about the people, the young girls, the families that are still trying to rebuild some of their lives and what they went through. Again, if we want to hold people responsible, right, we have to be honest. And the only person who paid the price is the person that should have paid the price, which was Jeffrey Epstein. And we'll never know what happened to that guy. What do you think happened? You think I think they had it off him, don't you think?
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know what happened to him, but I have a hard time believing that he committed suicide, especially the way they described it.
Yeah.
Well, and when they said the closed circuit feed happened to go out.
At the most convenient time.
At the most convenient time. That's and remember what they said too. Oh yeah, every hour there's a minute that disappears, right?
Yeah.
That weird, and then everybody's like, no, there's not. They found you just can't believe anything that comes out of this Department of Justice. So
he was on suicide watch.
He's on suicide watch.
Well, that's what they watched him do.
Would you like a noose? Good God. So, all right, coming up, Hot Take Tuesdays, where we give you our hot takes. Oh! Bell's got a hot take. I've got a hot take. And, of course, Ken's got a hot take. Ken's hot take is against Ken.
Ken is very angry with Ken.
Yeah, which is very fun. We'll do that straight ahead. Chad Betsy Show, Super Talk 99.7. Birch Gold, right now, gold has made quite the move. And right now with Birch Gold, it's the only time of the year they're giving you free gold. So if you convert an existing IRA and 401k into an IRA, with Birch Gold, right? So it's backed by gold, and you spend $20,000, they're going to give you free gold sent right to your house, which is awesome. So let me tell you why gold, because it's a safe haven. It's a great way to diversify. It's a way to put yourself in a position as just in case things go sideways. If there is an AI bubble, which we hope there isn't, if there is a downturn, if there really are several countries that say, screw it, we don't want to be we're done with America being the reserve currency and the military issues, gold is the place to be. So why not find out what they can do for you? Find out if you qualify. Text the word Benson to 989898 now. For Birch Gold, they're going to get you at the info kit. No hard sell. Talk to you about it, right? It's about getting information, making the right decision for you and your family. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. It's Birch Gold. Text the word Benson now to 989898.
Congress overwhelmingly votes to force the release of the Epstein files. Why it matters coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
2:30.
Almost got what time it was.
That's 2:24 right now.
I almost said 6:30, and then I thought, why am I still here?
Why are you still here at this point in time?
there.
I need to go home and fix something else on my car.
I know. Where's Matt? I've been here for a while. Am I getting paid for this? Matt's super late if he's not here. If he's not here, he's super late right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. So awesome. Hot Take Tuesday.
That bumper right there is the best.
We have so much fun, kids, what we do. Remember, tomorrow, One Hit Wonder Wednesday, so get your One Hit Wonder in.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a good one, too. It's going to be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages, I will start. Next week's Thanksgiving, and I'm super thankful for that. The reality is, though, I don't like butt stuffing. Any of that stuff in there I think is useless, but I'm not a fan of dessert. I just don't like dessert, all right? I like vanilla ice cream, and I don't like pie. I've never liked pie. It's yuck. I just don't like it, right? Chicken pot pie is the only pie I'll do. And I don't know if it's a mind thing, but I also don't like sweets, really. So I don't like cake. And so next week, because Belle's hanging out, my wife's they're having pecan. They got all this stuff for you, Belle, because they want to make sure that you're happy. And I'm like, that's great. She goes, you're not going to eat. Yeah. You're not eating apple pie or anything. No, I'm not. I just never liked it. All right. So I don't. Right. There's my Thanksgiving. Just give me some turkey and leave me alone, kids. What you got for us, man? Belle?
If you get an introductory price on some product or service, it is ridiculous that you should ever have to pay more beyond that, because they can apparently afford to give you that price. And if you're going to jack up my SiriusXM from $6.50 a month to $22 something, I'm just going to cancel my service unless you don't let me keep the rate.
Yes, sir.
You're going to go hard at that.
Yes. Right in the paint.
Going hard, right? Like just throwing elbows, man.
My first comment to the person who answers the phone at SiriusXM is going to be, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. And then I'm going to light them up.
No, your first one should be, I'd like to cancel. Who do I talk to? Well, why do you want to cancel? Well, because you know what? I thought it was going to be $6.99 or whatever it is in perpetuity. And apparently the super fine print that was in Mandarin, I couldn't read. And now you guys want to jack this up? Sorry, you're not worth it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ken, what's yours?
DIY stands for Destroy It Yourself. Had a personal experience this morning, boys. It wasn't very pleasant at all. I decided to do it myself by fixing my brake lights, replacing my brake lights. Got the driver's side done. Got the passenger side done. Started on the little light underneath the windshield. All you got to do is just turn the little bulb and just boop, pops right out. No, it doesn't. I turned it, then I went to pull it down, and the whole damn thing just crumbled like a Ritz cracker.
Oh.
All over the bottom of my trunk.
Did you think for a second you had superpowers because you're so much stronger than you could have ever imagined?
It was one of those things where I sat there and I thought, this isn't really happening. I'm actually still asleep. I haven't woken up yet today. It's just a bad dream. But it wasn't, because then the pain of something stuck in my hand awakened me to that reality. So what I thought was going to be like an $8 ordeal, well, looks like it might be more.
And on top of the more, you got to spend more time doing it. See, that's the one thing people don't calculate in. What is my time worth in this situation?
Yes.
And now your time is worth what? Well, now you know how you're going to go. You're just going to be all commando. You're like, I got enough lights to stop this damn thing.
I got 2 lights. I got 2 brake lights.
Yeah.
I don't need a light underneath my windshield.
No.
When did they start doing that?
I don't know, man.
It was like the mid-'90s, I think, when they became mandatory.
What a crock of you-know-what.
Yeah, they do a lot of crap like that, don't they? Just always asking for yet another thing, right? Could you have 5 license plates? 16 different things to slow your car down? Bumpers? We're trying to make sure that everything's safe. But we know you, man. You're going to fly free. You're like, I got 2 lights. We'll be good.
I don't even have air conditioning.
What do you care?
Why am I worried about a windshield brake light?
I used to be like that when I used to drive my old Duster. I had an old Duster. That was gold, made of steel. People give me like, I'd be driving and they give me a dirty look like, your car. I'd look at it. Did you really think I care what happens to my car?
Right.
Do you think I care what happens to my car that is made of steel and is a gold Duster with a sunroof that no longer works?
Yeah.
I do not care.
This car is strictly A to B, dudes.
That's it. That's
strictly A to B.
A to B. A to B. That's what most cars should be. I've never been a car guy. Even as a kid, I've never like, ooh, I want a Ferrari when I grew up. I've just never. I just want to go from here to there, and I want to have a decent cup holder. That's also. It's like the first thing I look at when I look at cars. How many cup holders?
And see, now I want to go back. I can't remember the last time that I don't even know if I've ever replaced these lights. But I don't pay to replace lights. I don't pay $300 in labor to replace little light bulbs.
No.
So I'm wondering, did somebody do this to me and just shove it all back up in there, or what's going on?
Ken.
It ruined my freaking day, boys.
It did. It's okay,
man. I am absolutely livid.
It's okay, guys. It's one of those days. We all have those days. I was having one of those days yesterday. We have those days. We take a deep breath.
And we need to go back to that song, Brother Chad. You had a bad day.
Oh, that's right.
Which that makes me even more angry.
Daniel Powder, was that him? Because you had a bad day.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, there's a one-hit wonder. I don't think he did anything else, right?
I don't think so either.
That
And
was
I
it?
wish he wouldn't have done that.
Oh, well, you know what, though? It happens to all of us. It does. All right, coming up, who knows what we'll talk about? We've got some of your text messages or your hot takes. Again, One Hit Wonder Wednesday tomorrow. Make sure you get your One Hit Wonders in as well. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We're looking at a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather between dinner time and midnight tonight. And it is very low risk, like I said, level 1 out of 5. And it's only along and north of I-40. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in our nation's capital, the House voted in favor of forcing the Justice Department to release the Epstein files.
In the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Epstein survivors in favor of the bill were there in the chamber to witness the vote. It comes after months of a back and forth on whether there was enough support in a discharge petition to force the vote. But a handful of Republicans sided with Democrats to force the full vote in the House, and Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey.
There is hope here. We fought the president, the attorney general, the FBI director, the Speaker of the House, and the vice president to get this win. But they're on our side today, though. So let's give them some credit as well.
But Speaker Johnson says he's got concerns.
Fails to fully protect victim privacy. It could create new categories of victims. It potentially jeopardizes grand jury secrecy. It fails to prohibit release of child sexual abuse materials that are not appropriately defined in the legislation. It jeopardizes future federal investigations, and we have national security concerns regarding classified information.
And now the bill goes to the Senate. Also in Illinois today, a woman is fighting for her life after being set on fire on a commuter train downtown Chicago. Police say a man doused her with liquid, ignited it during an argument, then ran away. The victim remains in critical condition. Detectives say they have taken a person of interest into custody. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Showers and thunderstorms rumble through the mid-state, and we could see thunderstorms produce heavy downpours, gusty winds, maybe even some small hail. So make sure you stay weather ready around and just after dinner time. The rain tapers off overnight tonight. Dry tomorrow morning, dry through the afternoon, and high stay in the 70s.
Beacon Capital Management, ready to help you with all things when it comes to your retirement, whether it is your actual retirement, the money you have in there, is it going to last as long as you need it to last? Is there opportunities where maybe it won't, right? You're like, uh-oh, what do I do? Beacon can help you with that. Maybe you've got issues when it comes to taxes. A lot of things that you can take advantage of, including additional senior deduction up to $6,000 if you're 65 or older, right? So there's a phase out through something like this. It's not a complete elimination on tax on Social Security benefits. This measure does, though, provide valuable temporary tax planning options during these years. And on top of that, long-term care as well as health care. That's what Beacon can help you with. Estate planning, things of that nature. So why don't you do this? Call them today. Get a free personalized financial consultation. Visit beaconcm.com. That's beaconcm.com. Find out how they can help you with one of these things or all of these things. Or call 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303 for Beacon Capital Management. This is a paid placement. Relief factor. We're getting a little bit older, a little longer in the tooth, kids. You know what happens? Your body's sore, right? It takes longer to recover, whether you're working out, maybe just taking a nap. Yeah, we're sore, especially with our muscles. We can overdo it. And Relief Factor is going to help you with that. So it's 100% drug-free, research-based formula. It's going to support your body's natural inflammatory response. It's got 4 key ingredients that help with this. Omega-3 fatty acids, right? Resveratrol, curcumin, and icariin. Each one of these things, right, it does some cool thing where it goes in a certain pathway, and it helps with that inflammatory response. What's that mean? You feel better. You recover faster. Those aches and pains and soreness in your muscles and your stuff, guess what? They're not as achy and painy. And the better we feel, the more that we can do, the better we can do with it comes to everything from working out to just living life. And that's what we want. So I want you to try a 3-week quick start. It's just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Tell them I sent you. It is something you can take every single day. I swear by it. My wife swears by it. Relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800, the number 4 relief for Relief Factor. Nashville rescue mission. So 6 days away. So we're talking 99.7. That is us. Broadcasting live. It's our annual Nashville Rescue Missions More Than a Meal Radiothon presented by Mark Spain Real Estate. It's Monday. That's coming up, 24th, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So Dan's going to be there kicking it off for us. Then Chris rolls on in and rocks and rolls. Then I'm going to be there and on to Matt, and we're going to be around the whole day doing everything we can. And we're looking to break the record. We got a new goal this year for our More Than a Meal Challenge, raising 55,000 meals in 14 hours. Get involved like Busy Bee. Get involved like our good friends at Beacon. What can you do to get involved? If you want to learn more, go to 997WTN.com or NashvilleRescueMission.org. And it's going to be a good thing. You know, it really is this time of year when you think about how blessed we are. Belle told me something in my ear while we were at break. What's going on, Belle?
Hoglet, or Camera Hog, as Phil Valentine used to call him, was down here, or is down here, campaigning for Afton.
That is interesting. Look, say what you want about Afton, okay? Because I know a lot of you, she is working her ass off. She is everywhere. She is out everywhere. I see 50 videos of her a day, like, I'm out here, I'm doing this. I see her putting signs in the ground. She's knocking on doors. Do I think she's going to win? No. Do I think she's making it uncomfortable? Yeah. Do you know what I've seen from Matt? First of all, how many times have you emailed Van Epps? And they've been they're all over the place.
I've probably 2 emails, 2.
And that was after trying to get a hold of 50 different people to even get an email.
I finally got a number where I called his campaign person directly, talked to him, told me to text the information, and then I haven't heard back from him yet. And I texted him today, and still nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything from them, and that's fine.
Which is fine, but if you end up losing by a really, really slim margin, we're going to have a fun time laughing at you.
Yeah. And the one thing I could say about Afton is she'll come into the Lions Den. She will. She'll come in here. She'll come in here with Matt and I. She is busting her ass. And here's the thing. While I think some of her stuff is wacky, I think she genuinely cares about people. More so, because and the sad thing is, I almost feel like if you go to DC, they're gonna steal it from you. They're gonna steal your caring bit. Who was I listening to today that was talking about?
Hogg called her the AOC of Tennessee.
They're all trying to, Mundani of Tennessee, all that kind of stuff. I saw somebody talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene today, and they said, the one thing about her is something very similar to the first go around with Trump. Not Trump is a politician now, but which is there's a sense of genuineness, right? Like she said a bunch of wacky stuff, but when you meet her and you talk to her, and I've talked to her a couple of times, there is a sense of genuine, like I do, this is who I am. I care. You don't have to like their politics, but you can respect the game. That's what I always said when I met Bernie, and because I went to a couple of Bernie rallies and we did some stuff with them, when Trump and them were first going, and compared to Hillary, right? There was nothing genuine about Hillary. My toaster has a better personality and is more genuine than Hillary Clinton ever was.
Oh, that's because it's a Decepticon.
It is a Decepticon. I am Toaster Prime. Toaster Prime. Here.
And if you're not willing to listen to the arguments of somebody you probably disagree with, then you're really not interested in confirming it and re-ascertaining if you do disagree with them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's why I like having conversations. Like the other night, like the reason I don't pull a lot of audio from like the Scott Jennings and all of that stuff. Have you ever watched that show on CNN? It is, or even Piers Morgan. What is it? It is 5 people all yelling stuff at the same time. And you're just like, what are we learning? What is anybody, the conversation isn't real. It's just people trying to get across a point and win some sort of argument for a soundbite, but nobody's really paying attention to what somebody has to say. And, I like conversation. Just give me the facts, the data. Let's have a conversation. Let's find out where we do agree.
It's like, I know I probably disagree with Afton on 98% of what she believes, but I can't be sure until I've actually bothered to listen to what she believes. And occasionally when you're listening, you can find some common ground, like something with, pot for potholes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm probably never going to agree with Afton on more than 2% of what she thinks. But if you can find something, that's a good thing.
You know, what was the and that, like, the pot for potholes, many of you who aren't fans of Afton, you were fans of that.
That's very true.
Many of you would say, like, well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of her, and I think she's this, that, and the other. But, you know, I'll tell you what, the whole pot for potholes, because we need to fix those things. And you didn't care about pot. You're, like, fine with it. So we have to find some commonality in most people. And this is why, like, I always talk, like, who's my show for? To the right, to the left? It's for everybody. And, you know, not just because we have a lot of fun and do other stuff, which is always great. But my thing is, I'm the exhaustive majority, right? Most people lean a little left, a little right. Right? The progressives, the 1% of the wackadoos on both sides, though, tend to have the bully pulpit. And we think that they're the entire audience, and they're not the entire audience. Because I talk to some of you, for every one or two of you that say something horrible about us, mostly me, I'll get 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 to say, you know, whatever, that kind of person sucks. I get that. So what does the exhaustive majority want? We want what? Safe cities, right? Schools to be good, some, you know, lower taxes, maybe government that does just enough but not too much, and for us to have our opportunity at building our life the way we want, and for you to do the things you're supposed to do without overdoing them, which unfortunately is what happens. It does. And Toaster Prime. I am Optimus Prime. Jim Cummings. He's also the noise of the
Predator.
The Predator. Yeah.
You are right though. If Van Epps doesn't get off his ass, she's got enough going for her that she might be able to squeak out a victory, because they are damned trying their hardest to flip that district.
Yeah, and I saw, the only thing I've seen from him lately is, outside of some, you know, the usual just little posts here and there and some commercials, is him standing with Marsha Blackburn. That's as far as he's gone. She's out knocking on doors. She's out doing something where she's like, I'm trying a grassroots thing, and she is playing an uphill game. She's climbing Mount Everest.
I have seen anti-Afton ads, but I can't tell you if I've seen one pro-Epps ad.
No, it's just the usual. She sucks. Although I did see a anti-Epps one the other day, and it was like a banjo playing, talking about how he'll do anything Trump asks, because they will. They're all terrified of him. You know, it's that's the issue that MAGA's going to have. We didn't get to it today, and we'll get to it tomorrow. Is MAGA? What is MAGA anymore? There's a huge rift in the world of MAGA. Right now, have you seen the blue hats? That's just America first. Throw away the red hats. Get the blue hat. The problem with MAGA is MAGA was based on one person, and there is nobody behind him that's him. And that's the thing, you know. There is no. It's like if they had, what's his name, Adam Lambert in Queen. Do you guys remember that? Like he was in Queen. That's not Freddie Mercury. Right. That's
and people realize that.
But the thing is, it wasn't Freddie Mercury. You can pretend, you could say, well, I'm going to see this, or even when you go see the dude what's the guy's name for Journey?
Arnel Pineda.
That's not Journey. Right? It's not.
Well, that's one of the reasons, though, that Brian and not John Deacon, Brian and Roger have named the entity Queen and what's his singer's name?
Freddie Mercury?
No, the new guy.
For
Queen.
Queen doesn't exist. It was Adam Lambert was for a while.
Queen and Adam Lambert. They call it Queen and Adam Lambert because they don't want people thinking that he's a member of Queen.
Yeah,
he's not.
No.
Queen is the two of them left, and they still tour extensively.
Yeah,
and sell very well.
Well, they did until they sold everything, because they did the same thing.
No, they're still touring.
Are they?
Yeah,
I didn't think they were.
Yeah,
because I thought once they sold all of their stuff, they were done.
No. They quit for a while because Brian had a stroke, but they've been out there again.
Really? Because what's his name? Once he never wanted. Once Freddie died,
yeah, John was pretty much.
He was done. He only liked Queen because he loved Freddie, and
And
also
he
made
took
him-
his death extremely hard.
Oh yeah. And it's weird because when you think about it, he was like an engineering nerd, right? Like he was some, and they were super close. But
in fact, most of the time when John would write a song, he would take it to Freddie, and Freddie would either help him finish, or if he couldn't get Freddie's approval on it, he wouldn't even show the rest of the band.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, yeah. And he took and he's just like, he's gone away for, like, he doesn't do anything. He didn't even talk to the other guys.
Yeah. They all of their interactions is through lawyers because he still owns a third of the company.
Yeah.
So was he the drummer?
No, he was a bass player.
He was the bass player.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the guy who's like, oh, why is this engineer in the band? Right? That's the kind of the way it was.
Is he the one who came up with the riff for Another One Bites the Dust?
Yes, that was his song.
That's him.
Great riff,
with his poofy
man.
hair that wasn't poofy.
White man's
Brian.
afro.
Yeah, white man's afro. All right, coming up, it is the welcome, Matt. Matt will be in here. We'll talk about who knows what. We'll probably make each other laugh because that's what we do here. It is a Tuesday edition of the Chad Benson Show. Straight ahead. Dun, 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 dun. We got new chairs in here. We were just talking about this. So, what's the guy's name? Jim Bob? Is that his name? Chris's buddy who brought us the chair.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to sit in secondhand chair. Well, I guess that's what we're sitting in now.
Yeah, we're sitting in like 88th.
I brought the chair in the quote unquote green room.
Yeah.
I brought that one in. That was
that one's pretty good.
That one's my old chair. Although Jackson plops in it and then it sinks down and gets stuck. You got to get it back up, but whatever.
Oh, Jackson.
Dadgum ploppers.
Dadgum ploppers. What's happening, brother?
I was a program director one time. I had a meeting about the ploppers.
I love this story.
Oh yeah. I said you damn ploppers need to figure it out. Y'all need to stop plopping. We've only got you big uns that are in the these are producers and they're big uns and you're breaking our chairs. You got to stop plopping. We had an entire room full of broken chairs.
Didn't you get in trouble for that?
Yes, I did. Very much.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They said I can. You can't. You're calling out.
Body shamed.
That's exactly right. I said I was not body shaming.
Yeah.
There are skinny ploppers. There are fat ploppers. Ploppers have. Plenty of skinny ploppers.
Yeah,
out there.
but if we're honest, if you're a bigger plopper.
It's worse.
Compared to Karen Carpenter, chances are stuff's going to happen.
No, it's implied.
Yeah,
but,
it's implied. But
unstated.
You didn't go out and say, hey, fatty, stop jumping on the chairs.
Right, and I said ploppers.
Yeah, ploppers.
Whatever your weight is. But if you happen to be a 400-pound plopper, you're probably going to impact the chair a little differently.
In a much different
than
way.
the 120-pound plopper.
Oh,
we all know what I'm talking about, too.
That's
you ever
right.
worked at a business?
And by the way, you guys are going to get mad at me, and we're going to hear from our big boss, because the only time we ever get in real trouble or his thing is he tells us, guys, you got to stop making fun of fat people. And we're like, we didn't. This was about ploppers. It had nothing to do with us.
Listen, we'll go in there together, baby.
Yeah. So, what are you talking about today, brother?
We are talking, I suppose, Epstein. I mean, that's going right along. I guess it goes to the Senate to die now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens there, but we shall discuss that. There is an ongoing conversation locally. It's an interesting local story that and I'm proud of them, television networks are taking up, and we've been talking about it on Super Talk, and that is the property taxes that are driving local businesses out of Davidson County.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that today. I was watching Fox this morning.
Dennis Ferrier.
Yeah,
it was
Dennis
a great
Ferrier,
piece.
who's
That's
all
exactly the
over
one I'm
this,
talking about.
And
yeah.
It was, they're talking to everybody, and it's like you've got your buddy Feckless Freddy over there saying, 26% is not really as bad as you think. And I'm like, you know what? People are going to come here from around the world so they can get an Applebee's T-shirt.
Right. And you're driving beloved. Arnold's is a beloved meat and three in town. Peg Leg Porker, a beloved barbecue shop in town, and more and more and more.
Was it Arnold's that has to sell 10,000
additional
plates just to cover the property taxes?
And his property tax is $131,000 a year. It's insane. He's a meat and three. And Freddie's response at the end, because Ferrier asked him.
Yeah, he did.
And he said, this is just the mentality that just grates me.
We have programs.
We have programs.
We've got programs.
These people don't want programs.
No,
they
don't.
just want to earn a living and hire people and have business. And they don't want a government program, dude.
No, they don't. But
anyway.
their thing is, and but hey, it's great because look, we're gonna have choo-choo train. We're gonna have eventually horse and buggy. Maybe we'll have a free. You can drive around on the bus and have people urinate in the corner while you're going from point A to point B.
Yeah, have you seen the new stadium? It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is lovely.
Whatever.
It does look lovely.
It does look lovely.
But
and I'm sure many people could travel from outside of the county to come and go to concerts there because they can afford to live outside of the county. And then they'll come in and they'll buy $9
and then go to
beers.
Applebee's.
And then they'll go to Applebee's because they can't go anywhere local because all those places are also out of the county.
Yeah. And you could say, hey, look, what'd you guys get? Oh, I got a T-shirt from Chili's or Applebee's. But don't worry, because they got a guitar up there from Ricky Skaggs or whatever.
Right. It's local because, as a musician that said something about it. So we shall discuss that. We'll discuss the Epstein stuff. We've got a political candidate in today. John Thorpe is in today. He is an independent candidate running the 7th Congressional District. I finally got a response from Afton. I thought Afton was ghosting me.
No, she's very busy. We were just talking about the fact that say what you want about her. She's knocking on doors. She's out there everywhere. And comparatively to Van Epps, who's like, they don't get back to us at all. And, Afton, we're going to try to get on. But she's at least making an effort comparatively to what I see by some other people.
I took her. She had an Instagram video up where she was like putting a sign up.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody in a white car.
Let me assure you of something. And I'm not, look, Afton's, is Afton. But if you are a congressional candidate and you're the one putting your own signs up on the side of the road, you're going to get your ass beat by 20 points.
Well,
Mark my words.
They already think that. Well,
I mean, but honestly, if you're the candidate and you're putting up signs, something's wrong with your political campaign, or it's a setup.
It could be a setup, although it could be, where they think she was going to lose by 20. But if you don't try, Van Epps, because I had several people text in, he goes, he better get up and start doing something because it feels like he's just.
I think he's on. Yeah, I mean, I think I got him next week. I think he's on. I don't know. I mean, you're right. You got to get out there. You don't take anything for granted.
No,
you take
you
stuff
can't.
for granted. You wake up one day and you're not going to be a congressman.
That's right.
That's true. But John Thorpe will be in. He's going to talk about why you should vote third party.
Oh, this should
or
be
independent. So.
Independent indeed. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Matt, straight ahead, right here. Super Talk 99.7.